in your individual studio session, what is it you are selling? If you are selling your time, you pay me by the hour. Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't seem to me to be a great start for creating a business that's going to be something that I'm going to want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah. It's more of an experience, I think. That's the most important part, because that's what I always. One of the comments I usually hear from clients, especially if they've got experience with other photographers in the past. I always get positive feedback on the actual experience.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than on the amount of images sold.
Sure.
That's because they have a client who's potentially a recurring client.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you've ever worked in other jobs. The thing this is not unique to photography, but it's certainly something that's not widely available to most people. But as photographers, we have a job that allows us on a daily basis to get and experience actual real job satisfaction. In previous jobs that I've worked in, maybe I would work on projects that would go 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever, and you get a performance review and you get a pay rise and you get a bonus and all of those nice things, but on a very slow timescale. Mostly it's turn up every day and do the work and then go home, whereas I wake up every day and I think, okay, today I'm going to make some pictures. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I made that picture. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I really like that picture.
Yeah.
And that, if I didn't get that, then I've failed. But there's absolutely no reason to create a business model that prevents you from having that possibility, So, yeah. As I say, if your process allows you to have a bit of play, have a bit of creativity, have a bit of trying different things out, you're going to be able to have that job satisfaction on a daily basis. I think that's... Yeah. I mean, if you've got that, if your business model is based on, 3 packages that are a set amount of time and a set amount of images, you're creating the incentives for yourself to just maximize the efficiency of the commodity that you've created, which means to cut out all of the play and the experimentation.
Yeah.
So long term, it's leading you that way. Whereas what we're doing is long term going like that. So we're growing and developing and trying out new things while we're getting paid to do it. On the other side of the studio, so we turn around 180 and I've got a concrete wall, which is really nice as a backdrop in itself. The key thing that's different with that concrete wall as compared to a canvas that kind of looks like concrete is you can lean on that. So in my previous studio, that was a limitation. I didn't have any walls that looked nice photographically, so there was never the possibility of having somebody lean on a wall. Because canvas will just move. So I used that for that. Then shooting in this direction, we've got the window and again the curtain here. So this is quite nice if you want something backlit, or just pulling the curtain across. The studio is longer in this direction than it is in that direction. So if I'm shooting full length, they're probably going to be here and the camera coming in from this side. Or 180 degrees round. Up there I've got the yellow curtain that conceals off that end of the room there, so that can be used as a backdrop as well. And then of course I've got some auto poles, so if I want to I can throw up another pole there and hang a canvas across that end of the room or this end of the room, so I've got the extra length to be able to shoot, let's say it's 4 people in a group portrait. Full length, just about, I can squeeze in this direction.
And then you're using a whole selection of different types of backdrops.
Yeah, so the main big canvases are up on the rollers permanently on the wall, just because it's, you know, they're heavy. You don't really want to be swinging those around, especially with a massive window here. So they're there and they're fixed. Then I've got a range of narrower canvases and colorama papers that will just go onto a C-stand, and I can use those to create corners. So there are several that kind of look a bit like concrete, and I'll just hang those at 90 degrees to that wall, and then all of a sudden I've got the corner of a room. Or put them down on the floor.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, then press here for the full episode in glorious Technicolor. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe.